Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we're going through some speedrunning tips and tricks that will help you beat Minecraft both faster and easier. So let's not dilly-dally with this intro and let's get started. Alright, tip number 1 is flint and steel. So, if you light an animal on fire before killing it. I said light an animal on fire before killing it. Light the stupid. Okay, there we go. And then kill it. Then you will get cooked food rather than raw food. And it doesn't have to die from the fire. You can simply just hit it with a sword before it goes out. And then you get the cooked version of the food rather than the raw version. So that can save a lot of time cooking food in a furnace when you don't want to. Tip number 2 is water buckets. So this is probably the most classic speedrunning, just useful tip there is when you are in survival mode like I'm going into right now. I'm not a fast typer at all. I apologize for that. There we go. When you're in survival mode, you jump off of a high place, you're going to die, nope. If you placed water, you're not going to die. Right? There you go. So if you place water beneath you, and you fall from a high height, you can absorb all of the damage and take no damage at all. You can keep running away from whatever it is, or if you're just dropping down, then that is helpful with that too. Another way you can use water buckets is if you get stuck in lava. Oh no, you can extinguish yourself. Or if you fall in lava and then you have to get out and then extinguish yourself. If it's more than 1 block deep, just do it as quickly as you can because, well, it's lava and you're gonna burn up. Alright, tip number 3 is ravines. So I need to go back into creative for this just because I didn't put a ladder. That's not how you go into creative. So, maybe you found this ravine. Just pretend that this is a ravine for a second. And you're looking down, oh, there's no water to jump into. Well, what do? Well, you could jump and place blocks beneath you. Like so. Oops, I missed that one. But anyways, it'll absorb damage, so you won't fall all the way down and die. And if you need to just stay here and regenerate some health, and then go on to the next one. Oh, I missed that one again. I obviously need practice with it. All of these take practice to get down. But once you do, they will definitely pay off. On to the next tip. This one is just pretty plain and simple. You know, using a shield is quite important when you are battling anything, really, but especially blazes, because they shoot little fireballs at you, and then you can burn up if you don't have any shield or any way to block it. So if I have just a bunch of blazes right here, that's probably quite a few. And now I'm going to go into survival and see if I can beat all of them. Aha! Stop. Haha! Yeah, my shield's about to break. Never said they didn't break. Out. Alright, so I took a little bit of damage, but anyways, I think you get it. Oh, they're about to fire again. Oh! Whenever they start to flame up, that's when you're on, when you're about to shoot. So yeah, I'm just gonna die here real quick. Or not, because I am a beast at using shields. And yeah, now I'm gonna burn. There we go. Anyways, where am I? Okay. So that did not work very well, but I showed you that shields can be very useful in not taking damage. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So, shields, very useful. Very good to have on you. So, the next tip, right here, collect ender pearls. Just whenever it's nighttime, just go out, kill some endermen, get some ender pearls. It'll help you get to the end faster, beat the ender dragon faster, and ultimately beat the game faster. So, as an alternative to just skipping night and wanting it to be day, you can get some endermen and get some ender pearls. Now, tip number 6 is water. And that might not mean all that much to you. But anyways, this water is 1 block deep. And sometimes you just don't have a boat on you, and you want to run across some water really quickly. I don't know. For whatever reason, you're trying to cross this water, right? So you can place blocks underneath of you as you jump, and then boom, you just cross the water. However, this water is only 1 block deep. So what do you do if it's more than 1 block deep? Well, lily pads, of course. So tip number 7 is lily pads. So as you can see, this water, 3 blocks deep. I can't place blocks on the bottom and stay on the surface. So if I don't have a boat, lily pads are probably the next best thing. Oops, I missed. But you get the point. Alright, tip number 8, and probably the most useful skill there is that I'm going to show you, is building a nether portal without needing diamonds. And really without needing all that much, because I think all you need is flint and steel, so an iron and a flint. Whatever blocks, I think you only need 7 of them or so, around 7. And then a water bucket. So, when you're first starting out, just do 3 blocks like so. These are the 2 blocks you're going to be standing on. So, I'm going to go into survival so I can actually empty out my bucket. And so once you're in survival, or you're already in survival probably, you're going to place down your bucket. Then I should have used something besides stone because I need to break this block. Then boom, you just break that block without picking the water back up. But now you do pick the water back up. Then you build something that looks like this right here. So 3 up, 1 in, and then 2 just like that. You'll place your water bucket on the back right here, and then the water should fall right into these 2 little holes right here. You get your lava, you place it on this side first. This is very important, the order I'm placing these, because if you do it wrong, then it could very well just mess the entire thing up. So pay close attention to how I'm placing these. So 1 there, right? That's what I did. And then 1 up top. Then you're going to go to the other side. 1 there, 1 there, and then 1 up top. You will then break these blocks down here, get a bucket down there, and then a bucket right there, collect your water, and then light it up. And now you have your nether portal. So, that being said, you can go to the nether now, which is pretty cool. So now a tip from before, extinguish yourself with the water bucket. Alright. Next tip is tip number 9. Was that tip number 8? I don't even know. Tip number 9 anyway is hay bales. And I did have a stack of hay bales right here, but I'm at least 99% sure that they burn up. So I'm going to go back into creative and get some more. Alright, I got some hay bales. This village didn't really have any hay bales in it to start. Well, it did, but they're all burnt up, just like most of the villages now, because I spawned a million blazes. What kind of idiot would spawn a million blazes in the middle of a village? Wouldn't be me. Wait, it was me. Never mind. Alright, anyways, hay bales are a great source of food, and no, you can't eat hay bales themselves, but if you mine them, they give you bread, or you can turn them into wheat, which you can then craft into a bunch of bread. Why isn't this working? Because I'm not doing it right, obviously. There you go. Bread for days. And boom, we have 15 pieces of bread, and they actually regenerate quite a bit of health bars, or hunger bars is what I meant. But hay bales also serve another purpose that is very important, especially if you're in the nether, but that is the next tip, so let's head over there. Ooh. Hello. Alright, tip number 10 is hay bale falling. That's right, hay bale falling. Alright, I have to go into creative again because I didn't put ladders on these stupid towers. So I'm going to head to creative. There we go. Fly to the top. Wow, this is a very tall tower. And now I'm going to go into survival again. And spawn point up here because there's like a 90% chance that I'm going to die. Especially since the first one I'm just going to show you that you die when you fall. So, like this. Boom, I died because I fell from a high place, right? But if I fall on a hay bale, 2 hearts. That's it. 2 hearts. Now you can't place water buckets in the nether, which is what I was talking about earlier. So it's very important to have hay bales when you're in the nether, so you can fall from high places onto those rather than a water bucket. Now tip number 11, I have to go back into creative 4 again. There we go. And I'm not going to go into survival for this one, because we all get the gist. You fall from a high place, you die, right? But if you don't have a water bucket, you don't have hay bales, you don't even have blocks to try to shorten your fall, and there's nothing around you, there's pretty much no way out, but then you look down and you see a horse. Pretty unlikely, but you look down and you see a horse. Well, if you time it perfectly, and this takes tons of practice to get down, unless you dream. Or me, apparently, because I got it first try. Wow. That was pretty impressive. So, you fall on a horse, you right-click it right before you hit the ground, or as soon as you can, and then you are on the horse. And then it eventually kicks you off because it doesn't like you. But it's a great way to not take fall damage if you're in that very unlikely situation. So now we are done with tips in the overworld, except for the last one, which is over there past the end portal, and that one apparently too. So I'll just take that back. We're going to the nether now, though. And this one is probably the most difficult. Well, I say probably. Easily the most difficult of all of them. And that is boats. And you may be thinking, you can't drive a boat on lava, it just burns up as soon as you place it down. Well, yeah, it does, but if you have tons of boats, then I can get to that island, right? Well, I didn't need tons of boats, but I jumped off of it right as I was placing it, like that, and then I made it to the island. But of course, if you have one boat, sure, that works. That small jump works. But if you have a long area to go through like this, then you've got to switch between boats, so as you're jumping. And wow, I placed that one way too early. I don't know what I was thinking. But I'm in creative, obviously, so my boats don't disappear. But if you use a boat in survival, it'll obviously disappear, and then you will have to switch your items like so until you get to the other side or you burn up in the lava. Now this one is very difficult because you have to scroll while you're placing, and you have to jump too. Wow. I will get this. I will get this, and it'll be very impressive. Just watch. I was pretty close. Alright, so admittedly, I didn't switch between the boats because that's really difficult. That last time there, anyways. And I'm in creative, so the stakes weren't as high, but you know, I'm a noob. I need to practice these two. So, with that being said, I'm going to slash clear, and we will go on to our next tip. So, tip number 12 is block falling. If you don't have your hay bale, and you have a small height like this, you can just place a block beneath you to cushion your fall, shorten the distance that you are falling, and then hopefully take less damage. But if that doesn't really do all that much, so it's best just to have a hay bale with you if you can. Alright, tip number 13 is use your ender pearls. So I know I said earlier to collect ender pearls, right? Why would I want to use them then? Well, if you're in a tight situation, there's not much you can do except for use them. If you can't do anything else that I showed you, that is. So, like, the horse one, if you're up there, and you have an ender pearl, you can just throw it off, and then you teleport down to the bottom or whatever. But if you're in a tight situation, like a lot of mobs are attacking you, or you're in lava and you can't get to the side in time, you just throw it real quick, and boom, you're there. It does have a slight cooldown, though, as you can see in the little thing down at the bottom. Right there, you can see the little white bar going down. But that is pretty much just, if you're in danger, you would rather live and then kill another Enderman later than die and lose everything you have, right? So, with that being said, tip number 14 and 15 are in the end. Wow, there's a pig in here. Why is there a pig in here? Alright. Anyways, so you have end crystals, and tip number 14 is if you have a bow, you shoot the end crystals from the ground. That way you don't have to waste all your time climbing up and getting them from there. And you may be thinking, like, well, I missed that one. But some of these are caged, like I can't shoot through there, right? Well, yeah, you can. There's a little hole in the bottom, right? And then if you shoot in between the hole, you can actually get your arrow up into it and blow it up. Now, once you destroy all of these with your bow, you can move on to tip number 15, which I thought was probably incredibly useful, considering I've never killed the Ender Dragon before. Tip number 15 is a way to quickly kill the Ender Dragon so that you can beat the game faster and you don't have to spend hours and hours in the end trying to hit it with your iron sword or whatever. So I have these beds, right? And these beds, well, when you try to sleep in them, they explode. That would be in the nether and in the end. That's where that works. So, what you do, you just go to wherever Ender Dragon's head is, place a bed, and blow it up. And that took almost a third, probably about a fourth of the Ender Dragon's damage right there. So it'll take a few of those. Remember, place it right underneath where its head is, and then blow it up. But if you're in survival, you'll want to place a block in front of it. So if this is a bed right here, I would place a block right here, it doesn't matter what type. I would stand behind it and reach around the block and press on the bed. That way I will take less damage and hopefully it will not die when I blow it up. Because this is obviously very dangerous. I mean, it takes a fourth of the Ender Dragon's health. Of course it's going to be dangerous. So I'm just going to quickly finish the Ender Dragon off so we can head back to the overworld. Plus I want all the satisfaction of knowing that I can kill the Ender Dragon. Alright, so if he's down this low, you can just grab your iron sword or diamond sword, which would probably be a lot better to have. Because if you still have iron, then you probably shouldn't be trying to kill the Ender Dragon, right? But whatever you have, hopefully at least iron, then you can just, whenever it comes down here next time, you can just finish it off with an iron sword, or your diamond sword, whatever sword you have. But I will just finish it off with a bed, that's what I have. And there he is. He is dying, and he is glowing, and he is disintegrating. And now he is raining little yellow experience points. So that will be it for the end, and we will try to go back to the overworld real quick. How do you skip this? I don't know. Do you just exit out of it? Oh, you just press escape. Well, that helps. If you don't know how to skip it, press escape. That's what you do. Alright, so tip number 16 is subscribe. Okay, you knew that was coming, right? So, with that being said, if you subscribe and turn on your notification bell, you can get notified for all my new videos, all the newest tips and tricks that I post, and I'm going to be starting a parkour challenge really soon. Or not challenge, a parkour series really soon. So, be excited for that. I certainly am very excited for that because I'm terrible at parkour, but I'm also kind of good at it, so that makes sense, right? So, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, drop a like, and I'll see you guys next time.